Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today is another yap episode, and I'm really excited because I'm actually posting this one on a Monday. I posted the other one on a Thursday because I was very late to it, but this one is on time, so hope you guys are happy. But today I'm going to be doing, or the topic I'm going to be talking about today is, first of all, just a little disclaimer, it may be a little bit offensive, so just keep that in mind, but I'm going to be talking about my Star Stable Icks. It's technically my version of my equestrian Icks, just Star Stable, because I don't really have any Icks that I have for the equestrian world. I've always had a good experience, so I am going to be doing my Star Stable Icks. But if you guys, maybe you do one of these things, again, this could be offensive, but I really do doubt it because I personally think these are very reasonable things, and if you don't agree with them, that's fine. So I'm going to be getting into my Star Stable Icks. So yeah, also I do want to just say and point out that in my last few videos I wasn't really feeling that well. I'm still kind of getting back to my normal self, but that's why the quality hasn't been good for some of my last few videos. I just haven't been putting as much effort into them as I feel like I could, so I do apologize for that, but hopefully this will be a good video. So let's get straight into it. So just a little quick disclaimer also. First of all, the normal disclaimer, I'm not that good at races, so just don't mind that. Honestly, I'm just not good at races, so just, again, don't mind that. But the second thing is that some of this, I guess some of this is gonna be a little bit weird to talk about, so just kind of a little disclaimer or a few disclaimers. But I don't really think I have anything to say otherwise, so I'm gonna get straight into it. But yeah, okay, so I think my first Star Stable Ick is kind of I guess not really my worst one. It's not really a big one, but it's just the weirdest one, I guess you could say, and the one that's gonna be a little bit weird to talk about. But first is when people bring kind of any sort of I don't know, just odd activity, I don't really know how to word this, into Star Stable, such as mating or breeding. I don't know, I just feel it's really weird, and I've had a lot of experiences. My last video of this, of the series, was my worst roleplay experiences, and I talked, a lot of them were related to this, but there shouldn't really be any sort of, romantic, I don't know, in Star Stable, it's not, I feel people treat it as something it's not, especially in roleplays. I've had occasions where in rider roles, they've tried to, make it romantic and trying to add I don't know, intimate things, and it's not what Star Stable is supposed to be. So I think we need to keep it as what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a horse game, so I don't know, it's just a little weird when people bring stuff like that into role plays, especially with wild roles, because their reasoning for being odd and bringing little too much intimacy is they'll say, oh, it's just a natural occurrence, horses mate or whatever, but it shouldn't really be. I don't know, I just think it's weird. Again, I know there's a lot of people that do this, but I personally think you should just keep it to yourself, because why? Just why? It's not really necessary, especially in a wild role, especially because you're portraying a horse, but you are a human. I would hope you're not a robot or something, but you know what you're doing because you're a human. You know what you're putting into chat, and even though you're playing a horse, I feel breeding and stuff like that, because it's no unnatural occurrence with horses, that's your excuse, that's your reasoning to bring that kind of stuff into the game. And I don't know, maybe it's something a Karen, but I just think it's kind of weird. So that's my first kind of Star Stable Ick. But again, I don't like role playing because I think it's weird. I don't think it's obviously I like doing RPs, but I don't think it's like weird for other people to be doing it, and it's like a really fun thing to do in Star Stable. But I just have never had good experiences with it, and I just feel like it's always like weird. So I guess I should have worded that differently. It's not weird. You can roleplay if you want. I used to do it too. I've just never had good experiences, and that's like one of the main reasons. But the next thing is kind of, I'm just gonna be kind of like describing a few people, obviously not like specific players, but just kind of, I don't know, like things I don't like that people do in Star Stable. So yeah, so the first thing is that I think for some background information, this isn't really background information, it's kind of just like common sense. Star Stable is not meant specifically for adults. And I guess it's technically not specifically meant for kids either. But I think it's really annoying when these full-grown adults will come on here and they will shame others for doing literally like just playing the game in general. Like it's like, oh, you're questing, or oh, you're role-playing, or oh, you're doing this, or you're doing that. But like shame somebody based on their like what they're doing, and they'll claim that they're doing it because they're immature because of their age. But then they'll also like talk about just people's age in general, like, oh my goodness, you're like a 9-year-old. Well, I'm sorry, but you're 30 years old and you're, you know, who knows, living in your mom's basement or whatever, you know, and you don't have a job because all you do is make fun of little kids and Star Stable. Like, that's honestly kind of sad for yourself. So like, I don't understand why people shame kids for playing this, because it's technically made for kids, like, especially because you're an adult. I feel like that's you being on a game instead of taking care of, like, you know, I guess like adult responsibilities. Like, obviously it's okay to play a game, like it's not reserved for kids. Obviously, I know my voice is really high-pitched, so I sound a lot younger than I am, but I guess I'm just advocating for kids. But I just think it's weird for you to shame somebody else when it's not even technically made specifically for you. So, I don't know. It's not like Star Stable is made for adults, and there are servers that are mostly adults, or young adults, I guess you could say. There's not a lot of adults that play this, but young adults, I don't know. They just, I guess, it's just weird. Like, don't shame somebody for being 9, because 9-year-olds, like, Star Stable's a kid's game. I'm sorry, but it's a kid's game. So, yeah. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is just kind of toxic traits of some players, and I guess that is one of them, like shaming younger people for just playing the game in general. But one thing that I feel like a lot of people do as well is they will shame people, and usually it's not only kids, but they'll shame just like random people for doing certain things in Star Stable, such as like role plays. And I think that's really, really weird, because why shame somebody for doing something as a role play when it's a game where you're supposed to do things like that? Or people that are like clubless and they will, you know, like make fun of somebody for their club horse or club fit because, you know, it's like, it's so weird to have a club, like, and do these fake dressage moves that aren't even real, that were made up by, you know, Star Stable players, like they're not even realistic or whatever. It's a game. It's not supposed to like imitate real life perfectly. Oh my goodness. Anyways, it's not like supposed to be real life. It's a horse game. I mean, there's not magic and sword riders in real life, so like, why does the dressage have to be exactly the same? I was in a dressage club, so like, I mean, it was pretty fun. It was like, pretty darn fun, and like, I love the community and I love the friends that I made from it. So I don't understand why that's such a big like thing that people don't like. Like, for example, I don't like doing role plays, but I don't shame people for doing it because it's something that some people really like to do. So I just think that it's rude that people will shame people for doing things on Star Stable, because I just think that's really weird. And I guess a lot of these, but oh my goodness, guys, that's so embarrassing. Anyways, just gonna go around. But I don't know, like, I don't go around shaming people for things, like, especially if you're a young adult, you should know better, and you shouldn't shame other people for things. But I guess that's just my opinion or whatever. I'm not gonna go too like into it or whatever. But as far as for like other Star Stable Icks, I'm gonna talk a little bit about, oh wait, actually never mind, I have one more. So speaking of clubs, I don't like want to use this word, I guess, because some people don't think it's like a good word. First of all, I use it all the time, but I absolutely hate, and I say that with passion, I say that with purpose, I hate club hoppers, because you need to, yeah, again, like I just said, it's a game. You don't need to like stress over something. Like you shouldn't have to come on Star Stable stressing. Like it shouldn't be like a job, or you know, it's like Star Stable shouldn't, or especially like a club shouldn't be like your main priority or responsibility, and you shouldn't have to feel like if you don't fulfill whatever is like you're expected of in a club, you shouldn't be like shamed for it or whatever. But at the same time, if you cannot commit to a club, don't join a club, because I know I was a co-owner of a club and I was also a member of a club, and I just think that it's very disrespectful to not, you know, commit. Like obviously if you don't show up to club practice, I sometimes don't show up to club practice, and I was like one of the instructors, but it's on a different level when you literally just leave the club after a few days, especially if you're not doing like some sort of trial or whatever. It's just kind of disrespectful, like just, oh, I'm popping to say hi and then leave, like, you know, especially when you don't even leave mail. And I guess like as somebody who co-owned a club, it's very like, I guess it's like a personal kind of thing for me, but at the same time I think it's just like wrong. But I don't really have too much left. It's gonna be kind of a short video. Oh my god, I just completely skipped that. That's so embarrassing. But next is, well, actually, I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it at this because I only want to do Moorland races, and we're almost done with the Moorland races. But overall, I just have quite a few icks, and I might do a part 2 of this. You guys have to realize that even though it's like yap episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, whatever, like so on and so forth, it still has like, you know, like I could still have a part 2 to a certain topic. So just think of that, or like remember that. But I guess I don't really have that many else that I like want to talk about. I might just save them for like a part 2 of this. Also, I just want to say, I feel like I say this every video, but I can't stress this enough. This is not me begging, but like at the same time I'm not begging. Please make sure to comment down video ideas, because I'm kind of running out of them. Like I'm only one person. Like I need some help. So if you guys have any, even for RPs, if you guys have any yap episode like training time ideas that I could talk about, or if you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comment section down below. I will be doing a Q&A version sooner or later. But anyways, that is all of my icks, so I think I'm gonna end it off here. Okay guys, so I am now, or this now brings us to the end of the video. This was definitely one of my shorter ones. I do apologize for that. Typically these are a lot longer, but as I said, be sure to comment down below any ideas that you guys have for future videos like this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Also for RPs, make sure to do that as well. If you have any questions about me, make sure to also put those in the comments, because I want to do a Q&A soon. But I think that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye.